Transition takes place in the mind first. Hey, it's Jasmine here. So, what does that mean? Transition takes place in the mind first. Change is making the decision, as in, okay, this is what I am deciding. And then transition is the steps and the processes to make that change your new normal. So how do you make that your new normal now that you have your vision in place? I have 4 tips here that I want to share, and then a story at the end that kind of ties it all in. Okay, so the first step is going to be self-awareness, and they're in no particular order. So self-awareness is recognizing, like, these are your cycles and patterns that are going to come up when they come up. That could be procrastination, that can be your self-sabotage, your limiting beliefs, anything that is going to hinder you from getting to your vision. Self-awareness also includes, like, when you recognize that these things are happening, that you're doing something different on your path to actually see that change come to fruition, fulfillment, completion, however you see it. Okay, the next one is commitment. To me, that is showing up gracefully each day. Sometimes that means starting over and overcoming the challenges in partnership with your vision. So another way to say that is, if you are in a relationship, y'all are in a commitment because y'all have the vision of being together, and that doesn't mean that outside influences aren't going to try to come into play. But because y'all are in that commitment, y'all do whatever is necessary to stay on that path and overcome the challenges together. So as you are working toward doing things differently so you can reach your vision for yourself, whether that is like being a boss chick, being the soft girl, whatever it may be that you're doing in your life, you need to keep that commitment in mind. The next thing I have is accountability. I believe it's a really good thing to have an accountability partner outside of yourself, where you can be honest and truthful with them in a non-judgmental way. They are going to be able to hear you out, but also give you that encouragement to get back on path. Because at the end of the day, we are all going to stumble. We are all going to fall short a little bit. But it's about the encouraging piece to get back on it. Oftentimes our vision doesn't look like what we see with our eyes. So having someone remind you that your vision is still attainable and encouraging you to keep going is really good, because you can have so much self-determination, so much willpower, and sometimes you kind of need something outside of yourself. One day I want to get these tattoos. I want a kite and a balloon to go on each wrist. You are the balloon where you're filled up from the inside, allowing you to soar high. Reading rainbow. Don't judge me. And then other times you're like a kite, where your environment, everything that's around you, the people around you are helping you to soar and stay lifted. So that's just how I like to see it. So both parts, they go together. And then one other piece, that fourth piece to me, is worthiness. And that is overcoming yourself to know that you deserve to reach your goals and see your vision come true without the shame. There tends to be a lot of shame around wanting to make a lot of money, or wanting to have this grand love, or whatever it may be in your life, but you don't have to be shameful about it, because it's important to you, whether other people recognize that. And then just giving yourself that permission to know that it's okay. Like, it's in you. You deserve it. You want it. So, yeah, you don't have to play small. You don't have to fit into anyone else's bubble, do anything that anyone else would want you to do, if you know for sure, like, hey, I'm worthy of this thing and I can have it. So those are my 4 tips. That's going to be being self-aware, your commitment, your accountability, and worthiness. So the story that I wanted to share to kind of tie all this in is, and I appreciate y'all for being on the journey with me. I'm here at Missing Hotel. The whole theme is just really much to unplug, go missing so you can find yourself, so that way you can be a little different when you go back into your life. Each day I've been going on a hike. The first day I get here, very easy beginner level hike. You know, the path very cleared, marked out, no stumbling blocks, lots of seating on the path, really comfortable. Like, okay, dang, that 18-minute hike went fast. Like, it was good. The next hike I went on, they have some, like a longhorn and a cow at the bottom of the ranch. So you kind of hike down, and this one was okay. I will say that there was some areas of tall grass that had me a little panicky, and I was like, but I made it. So yeah, so I got to feed them, and that was like pretty fun. So today I went on a much longer hike. Now this one, like if you were an avid hiker, oh, you would have ate this up. For me, whew, this was intense. Okay, so as we start the hike, it's pretty much flat land, but there are some areas where it's kind of overgrown, but there's just like grasshoppers, and I'm a girl, I don't want that happen on me. But I'm like, okay, we can do it. It's big, it's fine. You know, something get on you, just dust it off. So we get past that part. Now we're in another part, and I have my dog Evie along with me. Small, like 8-9 pound Maltese, a poodle Chihuahua mix, but I think Maltese is cute. So the next part we get through, like it's trees, so it's pretty shaded, and for the most part it's like dirt and rock path to go through. So yeah, so that was okay. Nothing too worrisome there. Now my little spider tingly senses was going off when we got to this next part because we're still like covered under the trees, but I'm out in Texas, so I don't know if other people see this particular Facebook post that goes around once a year, but it is like, it's a snapshot of all these dried like brown leaves that have fallen on top of each other. So they're shaped wonky, kind of like puzzle pieces, but as they lay down on each other, they create a pattern. So the caption is "Find the snake." And I've seen this post a couple times, and I have never seen the snake. So, to my horror, guess what kind of leaves was on the ground? The same ones in the same shade. And I'm like, oh no. Because as I had mentioned, there were some parts where the path was clear, but then there were some times where it had overgrown. And in this part, leaves must have just kind of just came downhill, and they were, from the flag I saw to the next flag to kind of like my guiding markers, it was covered. So I was really worried. Okay, not only for myself, but I have my dog. So on the ground I can see that there are, you know, enough like flattish kind of stones that I could kind of hop across till I get to a piece of land where, you know, the path is kind of clear again. So I have my dog Evie in this arm, and then on this arm I have my like little bag, and inside the bag it has her water and my water. It's got the walkie-talkie, it's got my camera, it's got my tripod, it's got the map, it's got the poop bag, the bag for all the poop bags, all on the bag. Okay, so chicken winging here, and then chicken winging Evie on this side. So I get started going pat, 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 and everything is fine until one of them rocks moved. Okay, so now here I am getting ready to fall down. I like braced myself, and there was like a tall enough rock that I could kind of put my weight there, rip the skin from my finger and my nail, so now my finger is bleeding, and I finally am able to kind of like hop the last little bit to like a clear patch. Heart was beating so fast. I needed a water break after that. I know Evie needed one, but I needed one because I was stressed out. Okay, so I said all of that to say sometimes you can see your path. You know exactly where you're going. You see your marker here to there. So I was accountable. You know, I did take a rest, but I want to let you know, like, that was only 1/4 of the entire hike. Okay? And I still finished it. Okay? So I was accountable to what I had set out to do, which was go on a much longer hike. Okay, commitment. I was committed. Okay? Like, I saw it all the way through, even when there were those challenging moments. And then finally, lastly, worthy. I'm worthy enough to accomplish like really scary big things. So I hope that even when you see your clear path, marker A to marker B, that in the transition that you keep going, okay, regardless of if you think you have your footing together and you don't, or just knowing like it's going to be challenging. There will be those moments where you have to overcome, but you can do it. I mean, a lot of people are depending on you. I mean, in the story, my dog is like, you know, what represents everything that I'm responsible for out in life. Like, I can't just like give up and like throw her to the bushes and like save myself. Like, you know, you want to keep everything that you're working towards. So all in all, I really appreciate you guys for being a part of the journey, listening to my story, finding some gem in all of these tips to help you not only to see the change and the vision that you have for yourself, but being consistent in your transition until that becomes your new norm. So until then, I love you guys. Bye.